Hey guys, I'm Nick and welcome back to the channel. Or if you happen to be new, please don't forget to click on that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest Star Trek goings on YouTube and in the world. So today I'm talking to you about episode 5. We're halfway through the season of Star Trek Lower Decks. The episode, An Embarrasment of Dooplers. Quirky little characters. We got to see them take over the ship, and Mariner and Boimler got the good mission, whereas Freeman and crew on the bridge kind of got relegated to the crappy mission with the babysitting of the Dooplers. We saw Rutherford and Tendi trying to put together a model of the Cerritos, and we had plenty of little Easter eggs and background surprises at the various different locations on the space station, from the bar to the shopping promenade to the party. It was lots of little in-jokes and references all over the place. So we're going to go through all those little secrets, unlock them, and see what we can unpack about this latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. Well, firstly, we kind of had three stories going on in this episode. We had the babysitting of the Dooplers with Freeman and Ransom and so forth on the bridge. We had Mariner and Boimler trying to get into their secret Starfleet party on the space station. And we had Rutherford and Tendi trying to put together this model of the Cerritos whilst escaping the multiplying Dooplers at the same time. The Dooplers were fun, I guess. Richard Kind did the voice of the Dooplers. He's a good comedic actor who's been in lots of different sitcoms and shows throughout the years. But I kind of thought the Doopler storyline wore out its welcome quite quickly. It was humorous initially, but then it had nowhere to go. Once they started replicating, there wasn't two more directions you could kind of head with that gag. So it kind of probably outstayed its welcome a little bit. The Mariner and Boimler stuff I thought was really fun on the station, with the car chase through the promenade, trying to escape the authorities because Mariner's old buddy Melvis had secretly tried to hide some Klingon disruptors in a box of Commander Data bubble bath. But some of them were law. That was a funny little in-joke, I thought. The fact that Boimler sort of said, some of these all Datas or are some of these law? And he goes, maybe a couple of them are law. That was cool. We had Melvis complaining about when Mariner marooned him on Ceti Alpha 4, which was apparently worse than Ceti Alpha 5, which was the planet that Kirk marooned Khan and his crew of genetically engineered people on. If you thought Ceti Alpha 5 was bad, then Ceti Alpha 4 was way worse. So that was a nice little reference. It's good to see that Quark is expanding his franchise of the bar. Not only have they got the bar on DS9, but obviously it seems like they've got a Quark's bar on Freecloud. We saw in that last episode Mariner and Tendi off on the away mission. They had a Quark's bar there. We've got a Quark's bar on this station. It looks like Quark's doing pretty well for himself, setting up a whole franchise of bars across the galaxy. We also get to find out that Mariner apparently used to live on this particular space station. Is there any ship or station that Mariner hasn't served on? She's served on so many different ships and stations and everything. She's been all over the Alpha Quadrant, it seems, in her career. Whilst Tendi and Rutherford were trying to put together this Cerritos model kit, it was fun to see a Kzinti officer in the mess hall. We haven't seen the Kzinti since the animated series, but we did get a mention of them. I think Riker mentioned he was having some problems with the Kzinti on Nepenthe, where he and Deanna Troi and Kestra live. It's good to see the Kzinti back again. We always seem to get quite a few references to the other Star Trek animated series in this show, which is fun. Speaking of references, we also got a look at the Aurelians. There was like a holodeck environment on the station, which was occupied by a lot of avians, and we haven't seen them since the animated series as well. So that was, again, another nice little callback to the animated series. Once Boimler and Mariner made it to the Starfleet party, it was cool to see Captain Shelby, obviously Shelby being the officer that was put on the Enterprise D to assist with the Borg in Next Generation episode Best of Both Worlds. Interestingly as well, Shelby's first officer, this alien with the big kind of V-shaped head and the many eyes, that was a concept drawing or concept art of one of the original designs for what Saru was going to be in Star Trek Discovery, but it was abandoned, and I think then they went for the version of Saru we have now in Discovery. I think they went for this V-shaped alien which had kind of many eyes and stuff on it that was deemed too difficult, and they went for a more simple approach. But fun to see this design used as Shelby's first officer in this shot. With the Cerritos crew sitting at the dinner table at the beginning of this episode. I don't know what it is with Starfleet chefs, but I gotta say, every single time you see somebody eating on original series or on Enterprise or whatever, they always seem to be eating squares of coloured fruit or the most bland kind of just square cut up carrots and peas and maybe some sort of gross looking salad. I swear the chefs in Starfleet seem like they're the absolute worst in the entire Alpha Quadrant, because all the meals people eat on Star Trek shows always seem to be the most unappetizing food you've ever seen. In Melvis's shop on the station, we see a few trinkets in the background. We've got an old, couple of old Starfleet tunics back on the original series. You often saw engineers in the transporter room and sometimes in engineering wearing these kind of what look like dressing gowns. They were sort of like martial arts outfits, which you saw one in the background, or a couple in the background here. Not only that, but also like 3D chess board, and we've got tribbles in jars, a couple of old tricorders and a few old pads and stuff. Looks like he's selling a lot of old technology in this shop here. Fun to see the Bolian hair salon on the station, obviously our Bolian characters on Next Generation, and also I think maybe on Voyage were also the hairstylists on the ship, started by Mr. Mott, I think, who was the barber on the Enterprise. And it was fun to see Boimler and Mariner almost run over a poor old a chap in a Pike-style wheelchair with his single beeping wheelchair to say yes or no. That was fun. That was funny. We got Vulcan ships and very calm Vulcan officers just responding to the car chase with the simple word of fascinating. One of the captains in the background of the Starfleet party on the station, I think his name was Captain Exley. He was a guy, and he had a weird guy with a small guy on his shoulder with a red beard and everything. I didn't get this reference. Maybe one of you guys picked up on this reference. Who was the guy? In the comment section, leave a message. Let me know who the guy was in the Starfleet party with the little miniature chap with the red beard on his shoulder. I didn't pick up on this reference, but I'm sure one of you guys will probably fill me in on that one. In the background of the bar where Mariner and Boimler end up and having their drinks at, we had a lot of cool little background references with the pictures and trinkets in the background of this bar, which was kind of fun to see. We had Benjamin Sisko's Solar Sailor, picture of the Voyager, even got a Morn, I think it's a Lurian, passed out in the background. We've got a little replica of the Guardian of Forever sitting up on top of the bar, not to mention a model of the Phoenix, the ship that Zephram Cochrane broke the warp barrier in the Star Trek First Contact movie, and one of the big planet-destroying ships atop the bar, big funnel-shaped planet killer, which was from the original series episode The Doomsday Machine. We've got a whole lot of pictures on the back wall from the Star Trek animated series, characters from that show, amidst a whole string of other appearances from the original series, characters of all shapes and sizes, from the Telosians, the big android guy, the people with the black and white faces, the salt vampire. There was tons of original series references on the back wall of this bar. And we even had, as the DJ at the Starfleet party, the character from the outrageous Okona, played by Billy Campbell way back in season 2 of Next Generation. And obviously good as well to see the fact that Kirk and Spock spent a bit of time in this bar on the station, and Mariner and Boimler carved their names in the bar as well. All in all, I think this was a fun episode. I enjoyed the hijinks with Boimler and Mariner on the station. The Doopler thing was okay, but probably went on a bit long with the whole duplicating Dooplers. We're over halfway through the season now for Lower Decks, so we've got 5 episodes left, and then we'll be into Prodigy after that, so looking forward to that. Guys, let me know what you thought about this episode, Embarrassment of Dooplers, episode 5 of Star Trek Lower Decks, season 2. Leave your thoughts in the comments section, and please leave a super thanks if you're able to. It really helps the channel out. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and check out my merch. There's always some cool Star Trek t-shirts there. If you haven't dipped into the merch store yet, please go check that out. You'll find the link in the description, or you might want to investigate the Sci-Finatics memberships page by clicking on that join button. Thanks guys, I'll see you soon for my next review. Catch you soon.